Facebook. Let's see. All right. So we're live on Facebook. I want to say hi to all my Facebook friends. We are live on Instagram. I want to say hi to all my Instagram folks. And we are live on Zoom. All right. So let's get started. I am big on time, trying to be as timely as possible, especially during the week. I know everybody's busy. Everybody has a life. I appreciate you for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule to join me and learn today about this exciting topic, how to finally create social media posts that sell using AI, no copywriting or tech skills needed. All right, I am going to be your host for this evening. I am Dr. Marcella Wilson. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, but before I get there, I want to encourage you to stick around to the end. This webinar is going to be about 60 minutes, if I've timed it correctly, and I am going to give you a very, very, very cool template, something that I use every day in my business. And if you stick around to the end, I will give you that template that I use that's on my desk. I use it every day when I'm prompting, and I want you to have it too. So please stick around to the end. So let's get into it. We know that as business owners, as social people on social media, marketers, momagers, people out there trying to make a buck, we are using social media. We're using content to amplify our business. We're using content to get eyes on our business so we can get more leads, more sales. But hey, look, it's expensive out here. It's hard out here. And we're not just posting for likes. Likes are great. We like likes, but we're posting for sales. We're in business, and when you're in business, you are here to make a profit, right? That's what we're doing. We're making a profit. So we're posting for sales. But the great thing about this amazing time that we live in is that we're going to let AI do most of the work. So instead of just, looking at Instagram, looking at pretty pictures and liking them, we want people to pull out their credit cards and buy our products and our services, right? But here's the problem. There's always a catch, right? Here's the problem. Let's see, my computer is acting crazy. It's not going to tell me the problem. The problem is that, if you're anything like me, you've posted content, you've pinned comments, you've planned out your social media, you've tried everything, but you got crickets, right? And why is this? Because the content hustle is broken, right? We all, want to make money on YouTube, right? We all want 1 million subscribers on YouTube. We all want hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, right? And what is it that you hear? Like, you got to post every day. You got to post 3 or 4 times a day to grow your audience and get sales. But this is a hustle, and it's broken, and it's not right. Right? So here's this thing. Here are some quotes that some of my students has told me in the past. They said things to me like, my products are good, but nobody sees them. Does this sound like something that you said to yourself? Or maybe you said, I spent money on paid ads with little results. Okay, that was me. I made Mark Zuckerberg rich. I have given him so much money with little results. Or have you said to yourself, I'm not a good writer and I have no idea what to post, right? I'm not creative. And these are all legit things that we say we say to ourselves as to why, we're not making sales on social media, why our content isn't producing results. But the truth is, it's not about posting more. It's actually about prompting better. And that should be a relief. When I found this out, it was a relief to myself. Like I could kind of pump the brakes on just the insane amount of posting I was doing and just focus on using AI to make my content better and more profitable. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this webinar. So who's this webinar for? First of all, if you run social media for a business, if you're a social media manager, if you're anyone that's responsible for creating social media content, then this is for you. If you have some kind of online store like Shopify store, Amazon, Etsy, eBay, then this is for you. This is for anybody. This webinar is for anyone who uses social media and wants to make money from it, right? And wants to find an easier way to create content that sells, right? So if you're a solopreneur, right, it's just you. You're one man band doing everything. Then this is really for you because this will allow you to save lots of time and hopefully make money on social media. So my goal for this web class is that if you learn how to use AI the right way, then you can finally create content that brings in consistent sales, even if you struggled to get traction before. But the only way to use AI effectively is through training. AI is wonderful, and I know we can all go into ChatGPT or Claude or Copilot and just type in something, but trust that prompting is a skill, right? There's a way to do it effectively. I think we've all experienced where we've typed something in the ChatGPT and it didn't give us what we want back, right? That's because there's a skill to prompting. So the only way to use AI effectively is through training. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself so that you know why I'm qualified to speak to you today. Again, my name is Dr. Marcella Wilson. That was me on my graduation day when I graduated with my doctorate. I was so tired and just happy for this to be over. Look at my eyes. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to go to sleep. I have a bachelor's in journalism and I have a master's in computer science and master's and PhD in computer science. And I don't know if I didn't say it here, but I actually taught at university for 15 years. And I worked, while I was in school, I worked at NASA. So I was a NASA researcher. And I taught computer science and information system courses at university for about 15 years. So I know there are a lot of people out there online, on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, talking about AI. There are a lot of AI gurus. And I am never trying to knock anybody's hustle. I'm not trying to stop anybody's bag, okay? But I challenge you to find an AI guru out there that has more qualifications and more experience than I do. I have been trained in algorithms, trained in artificial intelligence, right? I'm not someone who just decided like 6 months or a year ago, like, hey, I think I want to talk online about AI. No, I've been doing this for a minute. Okay. So if you can find someone out there that has more qualifications than me, go listen to them, but I doubt it. All right. I also love to travel. That's me in the middle with my girls. I have 3 girls, and yes, the 2 little ones are twins. So if I look a little frazzled or crazy, I'm blaming it on them because I can't tell them apart. 3 girls, and that's us at Disneyland. Yeah, we're at Disneyland in the middle. On the right, I'm in Mexico City. The left, I'm in Dubai. So I love to travel. I've been other places too, but those were some of the most beautiful places I've been so far. Hope to travel a lot more. So yes, I said before, I've taught full-time at university. I'm not going to play this video. I also, like many listening on Facebook or Instagram or on my Zoom, I've tried a lot of the online businesses, right? I've tried drop shipping. I've been on Amazon, shipping things in from China. I've done Etsy. I've done print on demand jewelry. I've done a Shopify store. I've done blogging. That's the picture of me. I'm at a basement church bazaar selling my products. I've done it all. Trying to sell products, trying to make millions through my business. Like, everybody probably listening, I've been there. And it's a struggle, right? And it was really a struggle until I let AI into my business, right? So if you've been struggling with your business, or if you've been struggling with trying to use AI in your business, then this is probably why, right? You may be thinking, a lot of people come to me, and I love talking to the people that are in my world, talking to the people that sign up on my email list, love talking to them. One thing I hear a lot, people are afraid of AI. I hear that a lot. Or they think that it's complicated and difficult to learn, or they think that, I know I need to learn it, but I'm going to learn it later in the future, not right now. But this is the biggest one, right? Like, oh, it's too difficult. And they think learning AI is like this. Like, this dude is like in front of three screens with programs on them. And that was me in grad school. That was definitely me in grad school, but that's not you. You don't have to do this. I've learned all the hard stuff, so you don't have to do this. And we all know ChatGPT, you don't have to do no programming to use ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is not complicated and difficult to learn, but there is some training involved if you want to learn how to prompt correctly and use it to create content. So here's the old way that I know I used to create content, and how I used to teach people to create content, like, create a content calendar, you use Facebook ads to drive people to your business. This is the old way to create content, and that could be overwhelming, right? If you use paid ads, you got to pay money. If you're creating content calendars and trying to come up with ideas, try to post on social media, it's overwhelming. It takes a lot of your time. I remember social media used to take a lot of my time. So I understand when people are like, I'm frustrated with this, I don't want to do this. But listen, it's not your fault, right? And also, people just, if they're afraid of AI, they're hesitant to use it. I understand that too, because there's a lot of media out there that is 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 leading people to believe that, right? You always, every day there's a news story that AI is going to take all of our jobs, that we're all just going to be watching Netflix all day while the robots do all the work. That couldn't be further from the truth. People don't want data centers built in their neighborhoods. I mean, I see a lot of articles about that. People are fighting the data centers being built. There's a lot of hate against people who are using AI, like Bill Gates or Elon Musk, or who's the guy that does Amazon? Jeff Bezos. People, there's a lot of hate towards them. So the news can be very skewed negatively towards artificial intelligence, right? This is actually a scene from one of my favorite classic movies is the Terminator. The Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is set in the future where they have all these AI robots who are sent back in time to kill, John. So he doesn't save the world. But this is what a lot of people think that artificial intelligence is going to become, like this dystopian world that is destroyed by AI and killer robots. And it couldn't be further from the truth, right? So when I talk to people, or when people come to me and ask me about AI, they're just like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can understand this, right? But you can do this. And I am here to help you do that, because guess what? AI is here to stay. It is the future. It's here. And it is going to be integrated in every industry, every field, every business. Entertainment, education, healthcare, security, banking, finance. Why? because it helps businesses save time and save money. So it can do those things very effectively. So businesses are going to continue using it or implementing it so that they can save time and save money and make more profit. So why shouldn't you use it in your business to save time and to save money? You should, right? Because AI is going to be pervasive in this society and in the world. So what are you going to do with this knowledge? What are you going to do with it? Are you just going to be one of those people who just sit back and say, I'm scared of it, or I'll learn about it later, or you're going to harness this great technology and use it for your business to make your dreams come true, right? So today when I'm going to be talking, showing you these things, I'm going to be referring to ChatGPT, right? I know there's a lot of large language models. That's the kind of the technical term for it. There's a lot of large language models that you can use. You can use Claude, you can use Copilot, you can use Gemini. But today I'll be referring to ChatGPT, but you can use whatever one you want of the things that I'll be teaching you about today, right? So why ChatGPT? Because it has the most users. And actually, when I wrote this slide, I actually think they're probably closer to 1 billion users right now. It's the third most downloaded app in the world, but now I think it's the second. Oh, it's the number one AI app. But yes, I think it is actually right now the second most downloaded app in the world. And if you go to like YouTube, ChatGPT has the most tutorials. It has the most documentation out there. So I tend to, teach ChatGPT because it just has a plethora of information and tutorials out there. But trust that anything I talk about can be used in any large language model that you want to use, whether it's ChatGPT, Copilot, or Gemini. Okay, so why am I teaching about this now? Why is it so important to be learning about ChatGPT now? Because things are shifting. As we all can see, that's why we're all here. We all look around. AI is everywhere. The behemoth, the giant, Google search is down for the first time in 22 years. Why? This is a sign of the times. Why? Because people are using AI to search. People are going to ChatGPT to search things. They're not going to Google anymore. And Google actually made a shift. If you go type in something into Google, you're typing into AI mode, right? It's going to have a ChatGPT, or it's going to use Gemini instead of its traditional features. And it did that because it understands that people are now going to AI to search more than Google. So Google is like, I'm not going to lose my traffic. So it's, if you can't beat them, join them. So it's like, we're going to put Gemini in the Google search because that's what people are doing now. Also, the new thing in e-commerce is that if you've gone on ChatGPT and typed something like, oh, can you give me ideas for a necklace for my teenage niece? You can actually buy e-commerce products through AI, through ChatGPT. So right now, 8% of purchases are coming through AI, but this is actually going to increase. So all Shopify stores, Walmart, and Amazon, if you search something on ChatGPT, like, what's the best coffee maker, for travel? I don't know. I just made that up. It's going to actually give you some recommendations and you can buy it right there on ChatGPT. So things are changing. So it is really important that we need to prepare your site for AI traffic, and you need to use AI for your business because we are in the golden era of AI, right? But ChatGPT is only as good as the human using it. Again, as I said previously, we've all experienced where we've typed something into ChatGPT and it didn't give us what we want. Or we prompted it 2 or 3 times, and on the third prompt, it forgot what we talked about in the first prompt. So it is very important that we learn how to effectively prompt, and we should all be trained to use ChatGPT effectively for our businesses. Because look at all these people. These are all celebrities. We've got Rihanna, Dr. Dre, Jessica Simpson, Kylie Jenner, that's Hailey Bieber, that's Selena Gomez. Why do I have all these people on the screen? Because these people all have billion-dollar online businesses, and you can too. So how do we get there? I don't need $1 billion, right? But how do we get, you don't have to be a celebrity to have a successful business like this, but you do need some help. And we can use AI to help us achieve great things, take a lot of work off of our plate, right? So let's get into the meat of what I want to talk about tonight. Let's talk about the 3 secrets of how to finally create a social media post that sell using AI. So here are my 3 secrets. My first secret is why posting more equals less sales. So you don't need more content, you need better prompts. Secret 2 is how to plan 30 days of social media content, just 5 minutes, even if you're a beginner. 5-minute magic, y'all. Gone are the days where you're planning for days. I used to plan my social media content. It used to take me a week just planning it, and then I had to create it. And secret 3 is your AI sidekick. How to use ChatGPT as your affordable marketing assistant to save time and money. All right, let's talk about these 3 secrets and how it can help your business. Let's talk about the first one. Why posting more equals less sales. You don't need more content, you need better prompts, right? So the reason that your content is converting has nothing to do with how often you post. I'm going to read that again. The reason your content is converting has nothing to do with how often you post. Before, I said earlier that we have been trained to believe that the more I post, the more followers I get, and the more followers I get, the more sales I'm going to make. Right? We've been trained, we've been conditioned to think I've got to post on social media 3-4 times a day. That's not wrong. That's not right. So we have to use ChatGPT to create quality posts, and you don't have to post daily. I've tested this so many times, and I've tested so many times that it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if we're using ChatGPT to create our social media, we have got to make sure that we're prompting it correctly, right? Because bad prompts is going to give us bad content, but good prompts will give us content that gets clicks, saves time, and sells. So what are you doing? So before I started using AI for social media, I was doing what I like to call random acts of content, right? So I was not posting consistently. It took so much time, right? I would say to myself, if I would just post more often, I'll eventually get sales and build a following. So I was doing lots of random acts of content. But what we need to be doing is AI created strategic content. So it's not about more posts, it's about the right post with a clear message and a purpose. And again, I've tested this over and over and over and again. I found that, like on Instagram and YouTube, if you post every 2 to 3 days with strategic content, the algorithm will bless you, and you'll get even more more views and more comments, more likes, and more sales than if you were just posting every day. But then comes the question, okay, I know I can use social media to create, I can use AI to create strategic content, but what do I post about? And that was a trap that I always would fall into, right? Because the problem is, how do I come up with fresh, new ideas constantly? I was always struggling with, I don't know what to post. So this was my vicious cycle. I would post a few times about a product or service, and this see if this applies to you. See if this is what you do. Then I feel like I'm repeating myself, like I'm saying the same things over and over again. Then I feel like my ideas are falling flat because like no one was responding, no one was liking, no one was sharing, no one was buying anything. So then I would start posting less and less and less because I was like taking all this time to post, taking all this time to create content. And then when I post, nobody but my mama likes it. So then I would just give up altogether. And then I would feel guilty, which I didn't put. I would feel guilty because I wasn't posting, but I knew I should be posting. So I don't think I'm the only one that has this problem. But when I started to use ChatGPT for my content ideas, I realized I didn't have to come up with ideas. I just let ChatGPT do everything. They could create different types of engaging content. ChatGPT could find relevant viral hashtags and keywords. ChatGPT could suggest and create images and videos. I remember I used to spend money on images. Like we don't have to do that anymore. ChatGPT can create content that uses persuasion, sales copy, empathy, curiosity, humor, scarcity, whatever. ChatGPT can do it all in mere minutes, seconds, really. So it takes all of that workload completely off of your plate, right? So here's an example. Say you have one of my students had a business where she made like homemade jewelry, and we were like, okay, let's see what ideas that ChatGPT comes up with, because she was just like, oh, I never know what to post. I just post pictures of my jewelry and then a link to buy, but that's not working really well. So we were like, okay, let's go to ChatGPT and see what they came up with. She did really beautiful handmade jewelry. So ChatGPT was like, come up, do some behind the scenes videos of how your pieces are crafted, have a how to style your jewelry series featuring popular internet trends, do customer spotlights showing how other people are wearing your designs or your jewelry. And these were just three of them. It came up with like 10 ideas, like in mere minutes. And she was just like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. I would have never thought of these, right? And the best part, ChatGPT does it all. It does all the heavy lifting. She didn't have to come up with any of those ideas. But I know someone listening may be thinking, well, look, anybody can just open ChatGPT and type in a prompt, right? I don't really need any special skills to do that. But I do want to just let you know we all need to use ChatGPT at our own risk. Why? Because ChatGPT can make mistakes. I mean, it says that at the very bottom of the screen in small print. ChatGPT can give you incorrect data. All of them can. Claude, Copilot, Gemini. Just because it's AI, it is not perfect. It can give you mistakes. Now, I do teach my students how to use ChatGPT and it not give you mistakes, but of course, I can't get into that during the webinar. I don't have that much time. But it can make mistakes, but if you are trained on how to prompt effectively, it won't give you mistakes. All right. Some people always also come to me and say, well, I do want to use ChatGPT for my content, but it doesn't create unique content, right? It creates generic content, But that's not true. Every time ChatGPT gives you output, it is unique. And you can also train ChatGPT in your brand voice so that everything it creates for your content sounds like you. Again, I cannot get into that during this webinar because I don't have enough time, but I do train my students on how to do that. So let me just give you an example. What would you rather post? Would you rather post new mug just dropped, dishwasher safe, BPA free, and available in 3 colors? Or would you post tired of boring mornings and cold coffee? This mug keeps it hot and makes you smile before 9 a.m. If you want to make mornings feel magical again, click the link in bio to find out how, right? ChatGPT came up with that social media caption, not me. So it came up with that really cool caption to get people to buy a coffee mug. So you can see the difference, right? So what do I want you to get from secret number 1? That you don't need to post more content. You need to just learn how to prompt better. And that ChatGPT is the only tool that can generate endless content, inspiration in minutes. And if ChatGPT can do it, why do I need to do it? It's the only tool that allows me to post less and sell more. And that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to learn how to make more sales. We're here to learn how to use AI to make more money. All right, so let's get to secret number 2, how to create 30 days of social media content in just 5 minutes, even if you're a beginner. But I got a question for you first. Remember how we used to do social media the hard way? Did you used to do social media like this? Am I the only one? This is how you used to do it. You used to have to plan your social media strategy, execute your social media strategy, right? You couldn't just plan it. You actually had to like load up all the stuff or post all of it. You had to create the images. You had to brainstorm ideas. You had to create a social media calendar and organize it. You had to create the images and the content itself. You had to set up the scheduling and pay for the scheduling. Then you had to analyze what posts performed well. And I could go on and on and on. It was like a full-time job. And I remember at one point, I actually did pay a social media manager because it was just so much, right? You got to, I was like, you got to do it every day. It was so much and it was taking so much of my time. I actually paid someone, right? But if you're doing it yourself, it can be like a full-time job. So I really, my dream was always to be a stay-at-home mom, right? As you see, I had 3 girls, and I was a professor teaching at university, but my dream was to stay at home with my babies and make money online. But my oldest daughter, we found out right before the pandemic, she got diagnosed with a disease that they had no cure for. And we didn't know, the doctors didn't know how long she had to live. So during that time, I really decided that I was going to make my, online business dreams true. I had to do it because I didn't know how much time I had with my daughter. I needed more time to spend with my daughter. So I had to figure this out fast so I could spend time with her. So that was my motivation of why I wanted to, have a Shopify store or an Amazon store and how I wanted to, come home and work. But my reality was I felt like I was chained to my computer. Am I the only one? I was working at university and then I would come home at night, working on my Shopify stores, my Amazon stores, creating social media content. I just felt like I was always at my computer. And social media took most of my time. So this is an actual picture of my desk at that time where I was like writing out social media ideas of what I was going to post. And I don't know if you see that picture there. So my youngest daughter actually drew that picture and she wanted me to play with her, but I couldn't because I was like, I've got to do this work because, I want to, make enough money so I can stay at home because, your sister's sick. I can't play with you. So she just left the drawing on my desk and it just like broke my heart that I couldn't play with her. Um, and then I don't know if you can see on my computer, that's actually WordPress. That was a blog I had. So I was just really, really trying to make it work, but I couldn't even like take time to play with my daughters. So once I started to use AI, right? Once I was at, I was like, we're teaching it at university. Now it's in the public domain. I'm going to start using it in my business so it can help me save time. I was able to create content in mere minutes, right? So the total time saved using ChatGPT, it saved me more than 10 hours a week, right? Came up with ideas instantly, was able to create the caption, able to create the images. It was a lifesaver. And the best part, again, ChatGPT did it all. I didn't have to really do anything, right? So instead of me feeling like I was tied to the computer all day, I was stuck working day and night. I mean, I work my job and then I would come home and try to make my business realities true. Instead of that, or instead of you feeling like that, just use ChatGPT to automate all of those repetitive social media tasks. Social media can tell you what to post, like captions, themes, sales promos, all those ideas it can come up with. It can tell you when to post, right? It can tell you the best days and times. And it can tell you why each post matters. It can help build your brand, speak specifically to your audience. It can, create sales content. It can help you get leads, all of that. So, for example, another student I had made homemade candles. They were gorgeous, they were beautiful. So, again, we went to ChatGPT to, plan content to sell her candles. And it came up with weekly themes like self care Sundays and eco friendly living tips. It came up with promotional days for product launches and seasonal discounts. It also, what I thought was interesting, told her she should be creating inspirational posts, right? Because people use candles to relax and meditate or pray or be inspired. Told her to use customer testimonials, talk about the story behind your brand, and basically just all these other ideas that it gave her in seconds that she would have never come up with on her own. Like, and I think she actually did use the self-care Sundays, and that was like a hit, and she was able to make a lot of sales through that. Again, some people say ChatGPT, this sounds great, Marcella. This is great for you and your students. You went to school for this, but hey, ChatGPT can't talk in my brand voice, right? I don't want people to read my content and they know that AI wrote it, but that is not true. As I said earlier, ChatGPT, you can train it so that the content you create can sound like it's coming directly from you. They won't be able to tell if it's you talking or ChatGPT talking. It can talk in your brand voice. Some people come to me and say, "This is great. I get it. I get people are using AI for their business. I just don't want to use ChatGPT." Again, as I've said before, I don't care what you use, but you have to use something. Right? You can use Gemini, Claude, Copilot, whatever. If you don't like ChatGPT, don't use it, but use AI, use something. Don't not use it. Don't not use AI for your business. Again, other people tell me I'm not good with technology. I'm scared of technology. And I tell them point blank, you got to get over this. You got to get over yourself because this is too monumental to not use. This can just save you so much time and energy and money. You can't not learn how to use it. All right? We got to learn how to use it. So listen, we understand that we need social media in our business. A lot of people are focused on vanity metrics, but vanity metrics don't pay the bills. Likes don't pay the bills. Likes are nice, but we like sales notifications better. So the old way is like, if my posts get engagement, I'm doing something right. No, the new way is we're using artificial intelligence to create content that connects, qualifies our leads, and then converts, not just entertain. We want to entertain them too, but the key is to we always want to be leading people to a sale. Okay. So what do I want you to get from secret number 2? ChatGPT is the only tool that can generate social media content in minutes, point blank. And since I can't do it in minutes, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use AI because they can. ChatGPT is the new way and it's the better way. So, social media used to be the bane of my existence. Now it's the easiest part of your business, right? Let it do it. And let's go to the last secret, your AI sidekick, which is how to use ChatGPT as your affordable marketing assistant to save time and money. Listen, you are running a business. A lot of people, a lot of my students are one-man shows, one-man bands, doing it all themselves, solopreneurs, or they may have a few, one or two people helping them. But the bottom line is, in your business, you can't do it all. In your business, you shouldn't be doing it all, right? You need help. We all need help. And the ultimate goal is to have a business that runs without you, right? So we need help. But the problem is, help costs money, right? And if you're in the early stages of your business, you don't have a lot of money for help, right? And I've been there, right? And good help is expensive, right? Because if you're good at what you do, you know your worth and you will charge for it. So if you want help, it's expensive. For some people, it's just a pipe dream, right? And if they're in their, again, the early stages of their business, they just can't afford it. They got to like thug it out until they make money. But if they don't have the help that they need, then comes the vicious cycle of I can't do everything. So I'm missing sales and I'm missing opportunities because the business is taking so much of my time. I'm getting burned out, right? And I'm just like, this isn't working for me. So this is the cycle that I see a lot, right? And that's why we know that, most businesses fail, right? It's, cash flow. They don't have the cash flow and then they get burned out. They don't know how to delegate. They can't afford to hire people. And then, they just go back to their regular job. We don't want that. Luckily, again, we have the opportunity to use AI in our business. And ChatGPT, we know there is a paid plan, which is only $20, but you can use ChatGPT for free. You don't have to pay. And you can create your social media. You can write your email sequences. ChatGPT, you can upload your sales data. It can analyze the data. It can find opportunity gaps and just so much more. It can literally do everything you need in your business in mere minutes. But you have to learn how to use ChatGPT. You have to learn how to prompt effectively. So, for example, ChatGPT can create a week's worth of Instagram posts in minutes. We've already talked about that. It can write product descriptions that convert. It can write email sequences for abandoned carts. Like if you have a Shopify store, because 30% of all shoppers, they'll put something in the cart but then never buy. So it can write email sequences that gets that shopper to actually buy the product. Can come up with sales campaigns based on current trends and just a plethora of other things. This is just an example. So all of this stuff would just take me forever to do, right? I don't even do this stuff anymore. I just have ChatGPT do it. Like, why should I spend a month doing all these things and not even doing it a good job of it when ChatGPT can do this in minutes? So we're gonna hand all of that to ChatGPT. All right. But again, some people will come to me and say, I love that ChatGPT can do all this. I don't want to pay for it. Well, there are benefits to paying for ChatGPT, but you can use the free version. So if you use the free version, it won't remember things about you, right? Because the more you use ChatGPT, the more it gets to know you, and it can customize its responses back to you. So if you don't pay, it's not going to do that. But hey, it's still, you can use the free version and get the same content, right? ChatGPT, I think, is ridiculously cheap. And I think we spend a lot of money in our lives on a lot of things we don't need. I think we should be able to put $20 toward this product that can do so much for us. But again, we have to understand ChatGPT makes mistakes, and we have to learn how to prompt it correctly. Other people come to me and say, I love it. I understand that I need to use ChatGPT, but I just don't have time. I don't have the bandwidth to learn one more thing. I'm already busy with my job and my kids and trying to get this business profitable and blah, 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 blah. And my thing is hey, this AI, I think, is the most important consequential technology of all time. You need to take time to learn it. And look, I'm gonna be honest, you can work with me. I'm gonna offer you a way to work with me at the end of this. We're coming to the end of my session. I'm gonna offer you a way to work with me. But listen, you don't have to work with me. I would love it for you to work with me, but I want you to at least work with somebody. Say you're going to learn this. This is so important to learn. It'll make you so valuable. It's such an important skill set to have. So you have to make time. So if you don't learn it with me, learn AI from somebody. Okay? Promise me that, because here are the facts. Here's what we've learned today. Posting more is not the answer. I don't care about engagement. I don't care about likes. I don't care about vanity metrics, right? And using ChatGPT wrong will definitely keep you stuck. You have to learn how to prompt correctly. But with the right prompts and the right content strategy, you can create social media posts that actually sell in less time than you think, right? So we went over my 3 secrets: how you can post less but make more sales, how you can create 30 days of social media content in minutes, and how you can use social media, you can use AI, you can use ChatGPT to save you time and money. It can be like an assistant for you. You can actually fire your social media manager and just use AI. So let me ask you a question. Some people at this point might feel like this little girl, like the water in the hose effect, like, woo, Dr. Wilson just gave us a whole bunch of information in this short amount of time. I feel like overwhelmed. If you feel like that, I get it. It was a lot of content. I know that everyone is busy, and I have a limited amount of time to teach and give you this information. I know it can be a lot. But let me ask you this. What if I actually showed you what works, right? What if I modeled it? What if I held your hand? I actually have a course coming up, an online course called Content Queen Live. Now, I have a product called Content Queen where, I have people buy it, and it teaches them how to create social media content using AI. But Content Queen Live is where I actually step in and personally teach you. It's a step-by-step course that shows you how to use ChatGPT to create social media content that sells. I actually step in and we do that live. I hold your hand and I help you through the whole process. So, if that's okay, I would like to tell you a little bit more about Content Queen Live and what you're going to get. Is that okay? I see some yeses coming in on Instagram and Facebook. Good. Because if you guys don't want to hear it, I don't want to I don't want to talk about it if you don't want to hear it. So, here's what you get. Content Queen Live it is an online course, right? So, um it's live and it's online. Let me see if I have, yes. So it's 5 weeks. I will be, teaching it live. So it's actually, it includes 7 modules, which are 5 pillars and 2 bonus modules. There'll be live coaching. All the lessons will be recorded because if you can't make, the live lessons for some reason, no worries. Everything is recorded. You can always go back to that. And here's the most important part, which I feel is the most important part. You don't get homework. I don't like to say I give homework, right? This is not school. But you get action steps. Like each week, you get an action item that you have to complete. The beautiful thing about these action items is that they push your business forward, right? And they help you through this content creation process. So when you go through Content Queen Live, you're doing it, right? It's not the sort of thing where you're just, watching it and learning. You're actually doing it as you go through the course. And I think that's the most important thing. Then you get 3 months worth of email access to me. You can email me, contact me anytime for 3 months about this course and so much more. So just the Content Queen Live online course, like the 7 modules, you get 5 main modules and 2 bonus modules, the live coaching, all that is worth almost $2,000, right? So what else are you going to get with this course? I'm actually going to give you prompts, right? So we're going to be learning how to prompt correctly because that's a skill. But I'm also going to give you my prompt pack that I use every day in my business. So you're going to get your done for you prompt pack. So you're going to get your Content Queen Live course and you're going to get your prompt pack, which is almost valued at over $2,100 for both of them. But what else do you need? So I'm actually going to help you with the planning. So I found that, and I'm always surprised about this, but I have like low ticket items that I sell for like under $100, and my planning products are my best sellers, and that always surprises me because people need help with planning. So I actually offer a 30-day social media content calendar. So because we're going to be creating social media content, so I will actually give you the calendar that you can post your social media content. So you're going to get the Content Queen Live course where I'm, doing live coaching, 7 modules. You're going to get the prompt packs. You're going to get the social media calendar. And what else do you need? That's already a lot. What else do you need? Well, let's see if it's going to come up. I'm going to give you some more stuff. So, of course, I already said you're going to get the 5 video lessons that will show you step by step the 5-pillar system to create content plus the 2 bonus lessons. You're going to get a Content Queen workbook, which is a 30-page PDF that's going to have all of your templates, checklists, your action items, the complete 5-pillar system I use to use AI to create social media content. And you're going to get the brand foundational card. That's also a PDF. This is your document that when you create that you're going to use that makes every AI prompt sound like you. So you complete this card once and use it forever. It's my secret weapon. I keep it on my desk at all times. You're going to get a hashtag vault, 150 curated hashtags by niche, and you're also going to get a quick start guide. That's a lot, right? So here's my little picture. Video lessons, brown foundation card, prompt pack, calendar, planner, template, content queen workbook, hashtag vault, quick start guide, video lessons. I think I already said that. You're going to get all that in Content Queen Live, right? That is actually worth more than $3,000, right? All of that you're going to get. And listen, if all this did was finally get, you know, some time back in your life, would taking this course be worth it? As I said earlier, when I started using AI for my social media, that was like a big chunk of time that it gave me back in my life. It gave me back at least 10 hours a week, right? If all this course did was help you learn how to use ChatGPT efficiently, would it be worth taking this course? Right? Again, prompting is a skill. You know, I'm going to teach you how to prompt correctly. If all this course did was that teach you how to prompt, would it be worth it? And for those of you who hired a social media manager, like I did at one point, if all this course did was give you the ability to fire your social media manager and save the money you give to him or her, would taking this course be worth it? I hope so. Because listen, you don't have to take this course. And I tell everybody that not everybody wants to work with me, and I don't want to work with everybody. But I am clear that if you do not invest with me or with someone else, you're still going to pay. It may not be monetarily, but it may be in time, right? Or effort. If you don't learn how to use AI in your business, you will pay, right? Because remember all this stuff that we talked about that we used to do to create social media, some people are still doing it this way. It's like a full-time job and time is money. So if you're doing this the old way, you're paying. So some people are like, I don't want to pay Dr. Wilson. I don't want to give her all that money. You don't have to invest with me, but you're still going to pay. So if I charge $3,000 for this course, it would be worth it. For what AI can do, for all the time it can save you, it would be a good deal. And again, I don't like pumping myself up, but I'm a computer science professor. I'm a former NASA researcher. My education and my skills and my experience, no one else out there has it. No one else out there has it. So, what I charge on a consulting level for businesses is insane. So, if I charge $3,000 for this course, it would be what worth it. And normally, when I do sell this course, I'm charging at least $1,500, like to the general public. But because you're special, you're on my email list, you guys are my people, I am just charging a limited time price of $497. So I'm going to actually put the link in the chat. I'm going to just stop the share. And I'm just going to put the link in the chat. Hopefully it's still there. Yeah, there it is. It's still there. I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. Okay, so the link is in the chat. So the people in Instagram and Facebook, I'm going to put it in the comments. Let's see, I'm going to do that right now. Comments. Let's see, I'm going to do that right now.
comments. Let's see.
All right.
I'm going to do that right now.
I am. Okay.
Comments.
Let me stop. So that's the
right.
Facebook.
Do that right
It's talking
now.
back to me. Let me.
I am.
Stop that. Okay.
Comments.
Let me stop. So that's the. Might just mute that. Okay. Sorry about that. So my people on Facebook. All right. So people on Facebook and Instagram that are watching the comment, the link is in the comments. So this is a limited time price because as I said before, I have sold Content Queen on its own. Content Queen is a do-it-yourself product, but this is the first time I'm actually doing it live. So when I do something, when I teach a course for the first time live, I usually do it as a reduced price because it's the first time I'm teaching it. But the next time it will not be this low. So this is a limited time price. And listen, I just want to say something. Like again, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to prompt. I want you, whenever you get a moment, to just like Google how much prompt engineers make. So a lot of people say that AI is going to take jobs. It's going to, and it is. I mean, some jobs will be obsolete because of AI, but AI is also going to create a lot of jobs. So one job that we see is a prompt engineer. So I'm not going to get into what a prompt engineer does. Well, I'll talk about it. A prompt engineer goes into a business and looks at what they do and then creates prompts for that business to use. So instead of having someone else do those jobs, it will try to find tasks that AI can do and create prompts to do those tasks. So I want you to look and see how much prompt engineers make. So I want to reiterate that prompting is a skill that businesses will pay for. So in my course, I'm going to be teaching you how to prompt, and they get they get crazy money. You're going to get it for free inside of this course. So you have two choices right now. You've been listening to me for about an hour. I'm about to jump off and eat dinner with my family, but you have two choices. First option is you do nothing. You can take all this information that I've given you and you can say, oh, that's nice, but I'm not going to take this leap of faith, which by the way is 100% risk free. I'll get into that in a second. You can say, I don't want to do this at all. Right? You can do nothing. um, and again, if you take this first option, it's not going to affect me in any way. A lot of people, again, will say things like, I don't want to give Dr. Wilson any money. I want to inform you that I already live in a big house. I live in a great neighborhood. We already take vacations everywhere. Like, my life is not going to change. My life has already changed because I've incorporated AI in my business. But, you know, I'm reaping the benefits of that. So, you paying for this course is not going to change my life because I already have the information and the knowledge which I've applied. But it will change your life. Not gonna change mine because I already do it. I'm already blessed because of this, but it will change your life and your business. I guarantee you. So that's your first option, do nothing. But your second option is you can pony up this small investment today compared to all the value you get in return and just give it a shot. Everybody knows they should be using AI and you invest in yourself, right? So this is a risk-free investment because I do have a money back guarantee. So we got 2 weeks. So this course is 5 weeks. I've got a 2-week guarantee. So if you sign up and you don't like it for any reason, just let me know. Just email me and I'll give you your money back. No questions asked. That's it. If you get in the course and like Dr. Wilson is horrible, like she can't, I don't know what she's talking about. You don't like it, just I'll give you your money back, but you got 2 weeks. So it's risk free, right? So just think about it. Is this worth gambling just a few minutes of your time to check out if this can even do half of what I claim? Right? We've all heard about AI, the things, the amazing things it can do. And I don't even think we've even tapped the surface of what AI can do, right? Isn't that worth the time? Isn't your business worth that? Following your dream, following your goals, isn't it worth that investment in yourself and in your dreams? So I just want to remind you again, um, what you're gonna get. You know, the online course. I just want to go back to that. Oh, here it is. Go back. You're gonna get video lessons. You're gonna get live coaching from me, social media prompt pack, workbook, hashtag vault, brand foundation card, quick start guide, social media calendar planner, all of that. So those are all the things you're going to get taught from me, a social media professor. But listen, I promise to give everybody stayed that for everyone who stayed until the end, I'm giving everyone my brand foundation card. I use this every day. When I am prompting, I use my brown foundation card. Um, I will be sending this to everyone who is in this webinar. So I use this. This is the main thing I use so that when I create my prompts, the content that AI gives me sounds like me and not generic AI garbage, right? So everybody's getting my brown foundation card. It's actually a part of Content Queen. So if you don't, I would love for you to join me in Content Queen. But if you don't join me in Content Queen, you can still get my brand foundation card and use it in your business. That's my gift to you. So again, it's $4.97, but I always like to inspire people to sign up as soon as possible because I work closely with my students and I just don't have large classes. And the reason I don't have large classes because one, I teach at university. Well, I used to, and I large classes, it's hard for me to ensure success for everyone. So when the classes are small and controlled, I can give everybody the full attention that they deserve. So for people who sign up today, you are going to get a one-on-one strategy meeting with me. I go over your site, review your business strategy, we come up with a future plan, and so much more. So if you sign up today, you will get that one-on-one strategy hour meeting with me. So I always love those, getting to um, talk to you and meet with you and listen to your goals and dreams and see how I can help. So again, $4.97. The link is in the chat. I usually have a 30-minute countdown timer. So I'm not going to play that because I am, let's see, this is the countdown timer. So after the 30 minutes, my one-on-one offer, my one-on-one offer is on the table for those people who buy today, but after 30 minutes, it will not be there. So I'm going to close out. I said this would be about an hour, and it's about an hour and 17 minutes. I appreciate your time. So if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, and I will answer them. or on the Zoom. I will answer them. But I want to say this before we part. See if I have some questions coming in. I want to say this before you part. If you are still here, there's a reason. If you feel that, pulled to learning AI, you feel like I need to do something with my business, don't go against what your heart is telling you, right? And I am big on following your dreams and investing in yourself and giving your dreams space, giving your dreams life. We give so much, we invest in a lot of things. People may invest in like Louis Vuitton. They'll buy Louis Vuitton bags, they'll buy designer clothes, or, we invest in a lot of things. But why not? And I'm not knocking any of those, right? We all like nice things, but why not invest in your business? Why not invest in your dreams? Why not invest in yourself? So if you want to invest with me, I am here for you. I would love to work with you. If you have any questions, you can email me at marcella@marcellawilson.com. But I would love to have you in this Content Queen live, and I would love to work with you.